We're tracking for you at this hour. In 3 months, there have been 6 cases of unruly passengers. Anger mounts as more voices joined Republic campaign. India says no louds on planes anymore. Terror bid foiled before Republic Day. Kolkata STF arrests 2 people with alleged ISIS link. We reveal to you modus operandi of these terrorists. Major face-off in Karnataka over BJP's book on Siddaramaiah. Congress stages protest. Court puts stay on the book release. Punjab cop chasing the carjackers killed by the armed assailants. Not even police personnel are safe in Man's government. Tamil Nadu government versus governor face-off escalates in assembly as governor proposes state's name change and calls Dravidian politics regressive. Ladies and gentlemen, in 3 months, there have been 6 cases of unruly passengers mid-air. First, it was a passenger on an Indigo flight calling the air hostess a servant. Then back-to-back 2 incidents of man urinating on a co-passenger, and today an incident came for on Indigo flight where intoxicated passengers misbehaved mid-air. From unruly passengers to cover up by Air India, who should actually be held accountable? Let's take a look at a few of those incidents. In fact, we're just going to put out details of these incidents that have taken place in a span of just about a couple of weeks. Take a look at some of the details that we're getting for you. Starting from 26th of November, when there was an Air India flight where a man urinated on an elderly woman. What has really happened right now? This man that you see on your screens has finally been arrested after a campaign that was started by Republic TV. Let's move on. Let's also take you through some more such similar incidents that have actually taken place. On 6th of December, yet again Air India, where you have a drunk passenger urinates. And on 16th of December, this is an Indigo flight where a passenger tells an air hostess, you're a servant of passengers. In fact, we'll be getting an eyewitness in a short while from now to narrate what really happened. Let's move on to the other incidents that have taken place so far. On 26th of December, this was on a Thai Smile Airways where a passenger indulged into an ugly brawl. In fact, this was also viral on social media. 6th of January, just about a few days ago, a Go First flight where 2 Russian passengers were deplaned for misbehaving with the crew. In fact, so far as we understand, no police case has been registered against the 2 Russian passengers. That's also a breaking news that we can put out in a short while from now. On 9th of January, again, another Indigo flight where there was a ruckus by drunk passengers inside the flight. So in a span of just about a few days, you can see number of such incidents that are taking place. So is there enough deterrent? That's another big question that one needs to raise, and we're going to get you some more details in a short while from now to understand what really has happened, what are the steps that have been taken by the DGCA, and whether at all they would be able to contain the situation. As we understand, a short while back we had a breaking news coming in that the DGCA has also now stepped in. Certain rules and regulations are to be brought in place. We're also going to get in some more information coming in from the Ministry of Civil Aviation. But let's now take a look at some details that is emerging with regard to the flight that took off from Bangkok to Kolkata. And there was an altercation between the air hostess and the passenger. Now that video went viral. For the first time on television, we're getting an eyewitness in this particular case who's going to tell us what really happened in that flight, and a lot of questions essentially are being raised time and again, whether what's happening or what is shown on social media, this is just one side of the picture. But tonight we're getting you both sides. What's the story like? What really happened in that flight of Thai Smile Airways? Joining me right now is Alok Kumar. In fact, Alok Kumar has also been named in that FIR that has been registered by the police as eyewitness number 1. Thank you very much, Mr. Kumar, for speaking to Republic TV. Let me straight away begin by asking you if you can narrate for our viewers what is it that you saw in front of your eyes, and then perhaps you're also going to, perhaps get into the details of the response that came in. But first, tell our viewers what really transpired on that flight where you were present and we were given to understand that there was an altercation between a passenger and the crew members.
Yes, so what happened that the crew members were requesting this passenger to upright the seat, but this passenger was not obeying the rules because when the flight is about to take off, you have to upright the seat. But even after repeated request of the crew members, this passenger was actually not doing his seat upright. And what happened that after that, it continued for, I would say like 10-15 minutes. It continued for that much time, and still this person was not obeying the rules that these crew members were asking him. But then after, some people who were sitting behind, they just started asking this person, why don't you do this? And they were saying, "Pehli baar flight mein travel kar raha hai kya?" But still this person was, not listening. Then after, some people came from behind. And then after this, actually, this incident happened where you see this guy was getting beaten by the fellow passengers. I think if, there has to be some guidelines ki agar aap 5 se 6 baar aap request karte hai crew member unse, if the passenger is not listening, then after, I think this passenger should be deboarded, not like ki aap 5 se 6 aap karte ja rahe. Yes.
Mr. Kumar, I'll request you to stay on because we're getting in some more big breaking news on this entire matter. And then perhaps I'll also ask you with regards to what was the response that came in. But let's take a look at some of the breaking news that is coming in with regards to how exactly the ministry essentially responding on this entire matter. We are now given to understand that Ministry of Civil Aviation has now taken cognizance of this entire matter. There have been strict instructions that have been given to all airlines to immediately report any unruly behavior. A strong message has also been conveyed to Air India. Some more details that is coming in. For this, we are joined in by my colleague Piyush Mishra, who's joining us on this broadcast. Piyush, you've spoken to some of your sources within the Ministry of Civil Aviation to get a sense of what's really happening on the ground and what sort of an action that has been taken so far. Is it only based on the Air India incident or the multiple incidents that have taken place in the last few days?
Well, Shravan, what we can confirm right now is that a top government source has spoken to Republic TV, where he has confirmed to us that Ministry of Civil Aviation is very much perturbed with the continuous mid-air incidents those are taking place. And after the Republic's relentless campaign, what we are hearing is that Ministry of Civil Aviation has now directed all airlines concerned not to tolerate any kind of such incidents and to report such incidents or any kind of unruly behavior immediately soon after the incident takes place. In fact, Ministry has also made it very, very clear, amply clear, that such incidents are not going to be tolerated at any cost. As far as Air India P incident is concerned, on that incident, Ministry of Civil Aviation has top sources within the Ministry of Civil Aviation has confirmed to us that they are still waiting for a report from Air India, and as and when this report comes, then Ministry is going to take action at its part. But they are still waiting for a report from Air India. Not only the P incident which took place on the flight coming from New York to Delhi, what we are now learning is that a report has been sought by DGCA from Air India on Paris New Delhi flight 2, Air India flight 2, in which another P incident had taken place. So 2 reports have been sought from Air India, and a time-bound inquiry has to be done to Air India. This is what has been conveyed to the airline. So that's a big development which we are right now picking, is that Ministry has made it very clear that such incidents cannot be tolerated at any cost. Passengers' safety and security is the priority of the government. This is what the government is also stressing. In fact, the biggest point which we can pick is that all airlines have been told to report immediately about any kind of unruly incident, mid-air incident. We'll have to wait and watch how the airlines are going to comply. All these instructions have now been issued by Ministry of Civil Aviation.
Well, thank you very much, Piyush, for getting us the latest developments. It does appear that with these multiple incidents that are essentially taking place, finally the Ministry of Civil Aviation essentially waking up to this menace that we are basically witnessing on a frequent basis. Let me once again bring in our eyewitness in this entire matter. Let's bring in Alok Kumar, who was there at the Thai Smile Airways flight where there was a brawl between a passenger and a crew member. Mr. Kumar, the question that I wanted to ask you was with regards to the response that we have essentially seen. It was very unlikely, and some things that we have not witnessed previously. Crew members have also been very restrained in their, they've exercised restraint in their response. But in this particular matter, it did seem that things went out of control. I want you to stress upon what was the response like, and despite the efforts that were taken by the airline crew member, it does appear that the passenger could not be controlled. What is it that you witnessed?
I think, the crew members were not trained for such thing. Because even after repeated request, if the person was not obeying the rules, I think he should have been deboarded. But you know what happened? Like after the flight was landed to Kolkata, this passenger who was beaten, or who was actually very rude throughout the flight. I think to my surprise, nothing actually happened, and he just took his stuff and he just left the airport. So I think there is some clear missing guidelines here, and like we have some other guidelines that you need to कुर्सी की पेटी बंद करें या फिर जैसा हम फ्लाइट में सुनते हैं तो उसी तरह से there has to be some guidelines about the behavior during the flight. I think then only these things will stop.
Quick question before I let you go with regards to the response that came in, and now with regards to the passenger, what is it that you remember? Because if you simply take a look at this video, we see that there was a constant effort that was being made even by the co-passengers to try and calm down this passenger, but he refused to do so. What is it that you remember?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So he was he was making some lame excuses that I have like a pain in my back, and he's doing all kind of lame excuses, and he was not just listening what the crew members were telling this passenger. And then after this escalated, if the crew member would have stopped this thing after like 5-6 repeated requests, then I think this thing would not have escalated, because at some point we were also got annoyed, like it continued for 10-15 minutes, and then after some people from behind started saying things, and then it got escalated, and this brawl happened. So I think it should have stopped right from the beginning. Like when after 5-6 repeated requests, he should have been deboarded from the flight.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kumar, for joining us on Republic TV and putting this into perspective. Alok Kumar was witness to one such incident. Once again, it brings to the fore the big question, whether at all the regulators need to really step in. In fact, we're getting in some more breaking news now coming in with regards to the airline regulator DGCA, which has already sought a report from the Tata Group-owned Air India on an incident of a drunk passenger allegedly urinating on the blanket of a female passenger on the airline's Paris-New Delhi flight last month. now which it did not report to the regulator. Now this is regarding the Paris-Delhi flight on 6th of December, where different passengers essentially saw smoking in the lavatory as well as drunk peed on co-passenger was reported. In fact, let me bring in my colleague Harsha, who's joining us on this broadcast. Harsha, finally the DGCA waking up to this entire incident. Not just one, we've seen multiple incidents taking place, but this is with regards to the Air India Paris flight. What more details are you picking up?
Shravan, this is the incident which was reported just 10 days later, 10 days after the Air India JFK New Delhi flight. We saw that urinating incident coming into light on 28th of December, which was actually on the 26th of November. And this is a 6th December flight from Paris to New Delhi, which came, and there were two incidents, not one. There were two incidents, Shravan, in this flight. One was a passenger was smoking in the lavatory, and the other one was a male passenger urinating on the blanket of a fellow female passenger when she went to the lavatory. And in this context, DGCA clearly stated Air India that why strict action shouldn't be taken against the staff members and against the Air India Airlines. And DGCA has also issued show cause notice to the Air India and asked for a detailed report on this entire matter. DGCA has clearly stated that someone has to be stated accountable for it because regulator was not informed about this entire incident. It was the duty of the attendants and the crew member and the airline to report this entire matter to the DGCA, the important regulator. But this was missing. Air India tried to cover up and push up this entire incident, and that Air India and the staff member are accountable for the incident which has happened in the Paris New Delhi Airlines, which came on the 6th of December to the national capital. Now Air India has to submit a detailed report regarding what happened inside, how a passenger was allowed to smoke in a lavatory, and why did the crew members and the staff didn't stop the passenger, because it is against the guidelines of the airlines, against the guidelines of DGCA, that a passenger is smoking in the lavatory. They are not thinking about the safety and comfort of the other passengers. So detailed advisory and the show cause notice has been issued to the Air India. Shravan, now Air India has to respond to this DGCA show cause notice, that who has to be stated accountable for all this matter and who is responsible, what crew members were there at that point who are responsible for this entire matter. Shravan, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Harsha, for getting us the latest details. In fact, we'll be keeping a close watch on the developments that are taking place. In fact, we are also picking up that the Ministry of Civil Aviation is waiting for that report to come in from Air India. Thank you very much. Shall we focus now to the other top story that we are getting you all the way from West Bengal, where in fact we are given to understand that Kolkata Special Task Force has arrested two accused ahead of the Republic Day celebrations for their suspected links with ISIS. Now, according to the police, acting on a tip-off, two persons identified as Mohammed Saddam, 28-year-old, and Syed Ahmed, 30 years old, were arrested from Vidyasagar Setu in Howrah. Saddam is an M.Tech graduate. They were charged under Sections 121, that's waging war against the government, and Section 122, collecting arms to wage war of the Indian Penal Code. Both were produced before the court, where the court sent them to police custody till 19th of January. Let's bring in my colleague Kishalai, who is joining us from the Republic Bangla newsroom for more details on this arrest that has been made by the Kolkata Special Task Force. Kishalai, if you can just walk us through the details in terms of their handlers, because it turns out that some of their handlers happen to be in the national capital. Is that correct? What more details are you picking up from the Special Task Force?
Well, exactly, Shravan. We are following this story very closely and exclusively on Republic. We have exposed these so-called alleged terrorists who have been nabbed from Khidirpur, Howrah area. As you are asking that these two alleged terrorists who were arrested, they had a close connection with a mastermind in Delhi, the national capital region, and what they were getting from that person is inspiration, what they call is philosophical inspiration of being a terrorist, and thus they were also spreading that information or that inspiration they were getting throughout the city, in different parts of the city as well, especially in the area which is called Khidirpur, Mominpur and Howrah. these two guys who were arrested, who were nabbed from this particular area, apart from their arrest, what also was done was that laptops, mobile phones and all gadgets were also taken in by the STF. And what was found in them, according to the sources, are that there were jihadi elements, and the elements which showed clearly that there is a connection of these terrorists, of these alleged terrorists, with the ISIS. And they were also having videos and photos of different kind of jihadi materials which they were using allegedly to take in more youth in the city and around the state of West Bengal. So the exclusive information with Republic is that they had a very clear plan, they had a very clear strategy of terrorizing the common people of the West Bengal by sending youths in the lone wolf style, where they would murder and show off in videos like ISIS do in Iran and Syria regions. So these are blood-curdling, blood-chilling reports that are coming from Kolkata. There were several other youths who were arrested from the city as well, especially from Howrah, Khidirpur, these areas, who had connection with different terrorist organizations allegedly. And now we see these two youths who are connected to the ISIS, and what they were doing is to inspire more youths into their jihadi philosophy allegedly. Shawan.
Well, thank you very much, Kishala, for getting us the latest details. A story that we'll keep a close watch. It turns out that there are more links that are essentially emerging, whether at all their handlers are now operating out of the national capital, or whether there are other cities that remains a major cause of concern. On the other side, Punjab cop chasing carjackers killed by armed assailants. Not even police personnel appear to be safe in Man's government. Also, Tamil Nadu government versus governor face-off escalates in the assembly as governor proposes state's name change and calls Dravidian politics regressive.
11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army when two suspects were seen moving towards the LOC on the Indian side. When they didn't stop, they were neutralized by the Indian Army. And these two are the weapons that have been recovered, along with other arms and ammunition. Several grenades too have been recovered. These are two automatic rifles that have been recovered, and these are the twin IEDs that these two terrorists were carrying.
देखिए तस्वीरें पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर की हैं और अखिलेश यादव इस वक्त अंदर में मौजूद हैं। सुबह ही मनीष जगन अग्रवाल की गिरफ्तारी हुई थी, जो कि समाजवादी पार्टी का जो मीडिया सेल है उसको वो हैंडल करते थे, उसको चलाते थे। और 3 अलग-अलग एफआईआर इस पूरे केस में अलग-अलग समय पर दर्ज हुई थी कि जो नेता अंदर नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, जिनको अंदर नहीं जाने दिया जा रहा, वो यहाँ पर धरने पर बैठ गए हैं।
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army. See, this is the recovery that has been made from the other operation that Indian Army carried out. This is the fatigue of the Indian Army, the combat dresses they were carrying, the gloves and other these batteries, the daggers, each and everything these terrorists were carrying. This is in the second operation that has been carried out by the Indian Army, and possibly it was an attempt to carry out a bat attack, as they were carrying a camera with them also.
This is Ravi Gram of Joshimath, from where I am reporting at this point in time, and as we have been reporting from the different location and seeing the condition that what exactly is happening in the Joshimath, there you can see the ball which has been dislocated completely. So you can understand by seeing these visuals that what would have been the condition and what is happening over here. This is something what is becoming a more worrisome situation for the people of Joshimath.
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army when two suspects were seen moving towards the LOC on the Indian side. When they didn't stop, they were neutralized by the Indian Army. And these two are the weapons that have been recovered, along with other arms and ammunition. Several grenades too have been recovered. These are two automatic rifles that have been recovered, and these are the twin IEDs that these two terrorists were carrying.
देखिए तस्वीरें पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर की हैं और अखिलेश यादव इस वक्त अंदर में मौजूद हैं। सुबह ही मनीष जगन अग्रवाल की गिरफ्तारी हुई थी, जो कि समाजवादी पार्टी का जो मीडिया सेल है उसको वो हैंडल करते थे, उसको चलाते थे। और 3 अलग अलग एफआईआर इस पूरे केस में अलग अलग समय पर दर्ज हुई थी कि जो नेता अंदर नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, जिनको अंदर नहीं जाने दिया जा रहा, वो यहाँ पर धरने पर बैठ गए हैं।
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army. See, this is the recovery that has been made from the
Getting in some more breaking news now coming in. This is with regards to the Air India New York Delhi flight, where Delhi police has now sought for the recording of the cockpit. In fact, the black box recording, which is only available for about 2 hours, Delhi police has asked for the digital recording to pilots and the co-pilots, and in fact they've been asked to submit all the details in the next summon, after the next summon that comes in. Let me bring in my colleague Piyush, who's getting us the latest details. Piyush, just walk us through the details that you're getting here.
Well, certainly, Shaman, this is what we are hearing from our top sources in Delhi Police, that Delhi Police during its investigation has now sought the digital recording of pilot and co-pilot. Remember that the eyewitness who was present there in the flight had in his complaint letter mentioned about the role of captain. In fact, he had said that the captain was solely responsible for the incident and he had squarely blamed him. So that is why, looking at that complaint letter, we can expect Delhi Police intensifying its investigation and seeking the recording, in fact, digital recording of pilot and co-pilot. We'll have to wait and watch how Air India is going to respond to that. Shavan.
Thank you very much, Piyush, for getting us the latest details. We'll be tracking the story very closely.
This is Ravi Gram of Joshimath from where I'm reporting at this point in time, and as we have been reporting from the different location and seeing the condition that what exactly is happening in the Joshimath, there you can see the ball which has been dislocated completely. So you can understand by seeing these visuals that what would have been the condition and what is happening over here. This is something what is becoming a more worrisome situation for the people of Joshimath.
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army when 2 suspects were seen moving towards the LOC on the Indian side, and they didn't stop. They were neutralized by the Indian Army, and these 2 are the weapons that have been recovered, along with other arms and ammunition. Several grenades too have been recovered. These are 2 automatic rifles that have been recovered, and these are the twin IEDs that these 2 terrorists were carrying.
देखिए तस्वीरें पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर की हैं और अखिलेश यादव इस वक्त अंदर में मौजूद हैं। सुबह ही मनीष जगन अग्रवाल की गिरफ्तारी हुई थी, जो कि समाजवादी पार्टी का जो मीडिया सेल है उसको वो हैंडल करते थे, उसको चलाते थे। और 3 अलग अलग एफआईआर इस पूरे केस में अलग अलग समय पर दर्ज हुई थी कि जो नेता अंदर नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, जिनको अंदर नहीं जाने दिया जा रहा, वो यहाँ पर धरने पर बैठ गए हैं।
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army. See, this is the recovery that has been made from the other operation that Indian Army carried out. This is the fatigue of the Indian Army, the combat dresses they were carrying, the gloves and other these batteries, the daggers, each and everything these terrorists were carrying. This is in the second operation that has been carried out by the Indian Army, and possibly it was an attempt to carry out a bat attack, as they were carrying a camera with them also.
This is Ravi Gram of Joshimath from where I'm reporting at this point in time, and as we have been reporting from the different location and seeing the condition that what exactly is happening in the Joshimath, there you can see the ball which has been dislocated completely. So you can understand by seeing these visuals that what would have been the condition and what is happening over here. This is something what is becoming a more worrisome situation for the people of Joshimath.
huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army when two suspects were seen moving towards the LOC on the Indian side. When they didn't stop, they were neutralized by the Indian Army, and these two are the weapons that have been recovered, along with other arms and ammunition. Several grenades too have been recovered. These are two automatic rifles that have been recovered, and these are the twin IEDs that these two terrorists were carrying.
देखिए तस्वीरें पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर की हैं और अखिलेश यादव इस वक्त अंदर में मौजूद हैं। सुबह ही मनीष जगन अग्रवाल की गिरफ्तारी हुई थी, जो कि समाजवादी पार्टी का जो मीडिया सेल है उसको वो हैंडल करते थे, उसको चलाते थे, और 3 अलग-अलग एफआईआर इस पूरे केस में अलग-अलग समय पर दर्ज हुई थी कि जो नेता अंदर नहीं जा।
Ahead of the elections in Karnataka, the BJP is taking the fight against the Congress party a notch higher by releasing a book on Siddaramaiah. The Congress has gone to the court to stop the book. Why are they scared about a book? That's the biggest story tonight at 7 p.m.
No sparing outrageous in-flight behavior. It's time for stringent consequences for louts on planes. Flight after flight. Can airborne hooligans get away? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Two drunk men arrested for creating ruckus on an Indigo flight. First pictures of the arrest you see on Republic. Anger mounts as more voices now join the Big Republic campaign. India says no louds on planes anymore. Terror bid foiled before the Republic Day. Kolkata STF arrests 2 people with alleged ISIS link. We reveal to you the entire modus operandi of these terrorists. Major face-off in the state of Karnataka over BJP's book on Siddaramaiah. The Congress stages a protest. The court now has put a stay on the release of the book. Punjab cop chasing the carjackers is killed by armed assailants. The question everyone is asking is not even the police personnel safe in the state of Punjab. And Tamil Nadu government versus the governor face-off escalates in the assembly as the governor now proposes state's name be changed and calls the dividend politics regressive. A very good evening. You're with us on Republic and I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. Our focus, our spotlight is on the Big Republic campaign. This is, remember, about the unruly passengers in the sky. What really happens to these cases? Do the airlines act on time or not? All through this evening, you've seen our focus on that story. In fact, we have a quick breaking update on that Big Republic campaign. Republic TV has accessed these pictures that you will see on your screens in just a bit. These are 2 Russian nationals who allegedly misbehaved with a woman crew member in the Go First Goa-Mumbai flight. The first pictures you see only on Republic. Sandeep has been able to get them for us and he's joining us on the broadcast. Sandeep, first up, why don't you explain to us what has happened in the case so far? What really transpired and has there been absolutely any action, Sandeep?
On 6th of January, the Goa-Mumbai flight was in fact bound from Goa, the Go First flight, and in fact in this very flat, these 2 Russian nationals in fact misbehaved with the women crew in the flight, and in fact they used inappropriate words for the crew member, for the female crew member. In fact, one of them in fact asked to sit the cabin crew member next to them, in fact, and there are some more things that were in fact was said by these Russian national. Offensive comment were in fact made, which even cannot be, said as well. Now, after this incident happened, the cabin crew member reported this to the pilot, and the pilot immediately taking action on this offloaded these Russian national. As far as the Go First statement is concerned, they reported this to CISF, but as far as we've been trying to connect to Goa police, as far as Goa police sources are confirmed, concerned, they mentioned that no complaint was in fact lodged, and hence no action was in fact initiated in this case, as there is no complaint been given by Go First, or no one from the Go First connected in order to file the complaint with Goa police. Hence there was no FIR was lodged, Dipti.
So Sandeep, the reason why we actually put out these stories is because there is a pattern, Sandeep, to every such story. And like we said, should there be stricter rules, Sandeep, we'll track that story. For the moment, thank you so much for accessing those pictures and helping us understand the story. We have more breaking news coming in. The Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar has again defended the accused minister Sandeep Singh. In fact, he goes on to say that just because someone puts allegations, this does not make anyone criminal.
जिस दिन ये प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई है, उस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के बाद मंत्री ने स्वयं होकर के डीजीपी को एक पत्र लिखा कि मेरे खिलाफ एक षड्यंत्र ऐसा रचा जा रहा है और एक इस प्रकार की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की जा रही है, और वो भी एक पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के ऑफिस में की जा रही है। तो कहीं ना कहीं उनकी ग्रीवेंस उस पॉलिटिकल विषय को लेकर के ज्यादा है कि इसके पीछे कोई ना कोई एक षड्यंत्र हो सकता है, तो इसकी जांच कराई जाए। अब जो कि डिपार्टमेंट हरियाणा का है और वो खिलाड़ी कोच हरियाणा सरकार में एम्प्लॉय है, ये मंत्री हैं और पॉलिटिकल पार्टी भी हरियाणा की है, तो इस प्रकार के विषयों को लेकर के उस एसआईटी ने अपनी कोई जांच जरूर की है। मुझे जो पता लगा है कि लोगों को बुला करके उनको पूछा है, रिपोर्ट कोई दी नहीं है, दी होगी तो डीजीपी साहब के पास होगी, हमको उसका पता नहीं है, लेकिन वो भी जांच करना मुझे लगता है कि जिस प्रकार का विषय सारा खड़ा हुआ है वो आवश्यक इसलिए है, ये चीजें कनेक्टेड हैं हरियाणा से, और जो हरियाणा से कनेक्टेड चीजें हैं, क्योंकि पुलिस, चंडीगढ़ पुलिस इस जो कंप्लेंट हुई है उससे बाहर जाकर कुछ नहीं करने वाली, लेकिन इसकी अतिरिक्त जो चीजें हैं वो हरियाणा पुलिस करेगी, और वो करके जो रिपोर्ट देंगे सब देखेंगे।
So you just heard what Manohar Lal Khattar said. He says a person is not proved guilty by registering an FIR on the entire case against his ex-minister Sandeep Singh. Let's get in Amandeep, who's tracked that story very closely. Amandeep, on any such case, usually it's quite rare that you have a chief minister who puts out such a clear and a direct opinion. I want to know and understand what are the compulsions that Manohar Lal Khattar continues to defend him. Amandeep, that's question number one. Question number two, isn't this also in a way a clean sheet that he's already giving to Sandeep Singh, saying that this is a political case? So is he preempting what the SIT will also decide, and is that fair?
Well, absolutely, Deepthi, absolutely. Even God knows what is the compulsion of Manohar Lal Khattar, Chief Minister of Haryana, to defend his own minister, despite knowing that there are serious charges against him, and even sexually harassing a female junior athletic coach. And despite knowing this fact, Deepthi, that there is a strong evidence against him. And even still, Manohar Lal Khattar has not put down from his own cabinet. He is still a minister. Just his sports portfolio has been surrendered to Chief Minister, but he is still a minister. And Deepthi, another important aspect to this is that Haryana government has already constituted an SIT to probe this matter that will conduct a fact-finding report regarding this entire incident. that incident which has took place in Chandigarh, what is the concern of Haryana SIT, what they want to prove into that, why are they jumping into the investigation of Chandigarh police, why they have constituted a parallel SIT to probe this entire matter. Indication is clear cut that if the Khattar is defending his own minister, then how the SIT can prove him guilty into that. And even Dipti, when a minister is facing a charges and even if he is accused of something, it is the first step of the government to take his resignation from his cabinet, so that at least he should not temper the evidence, he should not influence the investigation, even in his own state or any other state. And no, the Khattar is all saying and defending his own minister by saying that he has not proved guilty. These all are the allegations. Dipti, the first step of the investigation is to probe the allegations, and the court will hold the guilty, but that will take a longest process, and even the law will take its own course. But what is the action of Haryana government? Null and void. What action the Haryana government and Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar has taken into this entire serious allegations? Nothing. And even instead of...
Absolutely. The next obvious question then, Amandeep, is that, you know, what is the guarantee that there is going to be a fair investigation in the entire case? And question number 2, why is this man not being arrested? Because these are serious charges of sexual harassment being leveled on him. Had it been any other person, Amandeep, that person would have been behind bars by now.
Absolutely, Dipti, absolutely. 354B, a non-bailable offence slapped against Minister Sandeep Singh. And in fact, when a non-bailable offence slapped against any of the person, immediately the first step of the police is to take him into the custody for the further interrogation, so that that person should not hamper the investigation. But in this case, even Chandigarh police is providing the VVIP treatment to the minister just because he is still a cabinet minister. No arrest has been done so far by the Chandigarh police, and even just once Dipti, Minister Sandeep Singh was questioned after giving a notice of CRPC. The police called him in a police station and questioned him and seized both of the mobile phones of Minister Sandeep Singh. But still, even after one round of the questioning, no arrest has been made. Not a single arrest has been made into this entire case, though this FIR has been registered on 31st of December evening. And even on the 1st of January, Minister Sandeep Singh come out with a statement that this is a politically motivated case, and he surrendered his portfolio to Chief Minister so that this entire investigation should not hamper. And even Dipti, this is not the only the allegation. Sexual harassment is not the only allegation. Victim is claiming that some of the middlemen tried to bribe her, offering her the foreign trips, offering her the 1 crore rupees to withdraw the complaint, to take a back step to this entire case. But no arrest has been made, and even Khattar government is continuously defending his own minister, and this is a clear-cut indication that fair probe from the side of Haryana government is not at all possible. But let's leave a hope to the Chandigarh police if they can do justice to this case. Yes, Deepthi.
And, you know, both of us, Amandeep, in our hearts know what possibly happens to such cases. You know, very high-profile cases where you have the Chief Minister speaking out of turn, wanting to defend his minister. You know, I think we should just watch that story, and we will continue to keep our spotlight on that, Amandeep. For the moment, thank you so much for tracking that for us. This next report that we play out now is from our colleague Anuj, who's getting you the very latest, also from Joshimath.
That the people of Joshimath are still in fear, and the situation remains tense. Let me give you the sense once from where I'm reporting, and we can see the condition what is happening over here. We do understand, as we are reporting from last 4 days and seeing what exactly the condition at this point in time is, and we can see how the building is shifting from its place now. We have seen several cracks on the roads. We have seen several cracks on the walls, on other buildings in the hotels. So this exactly is the condition where this has been stated very much clearly by the administration that there is no option for the people now, but they will have to leave. They will have to leave their houses. That is something what we are seeing. Let me also give you the sense from this particular house where we can see the numbers of cracks. You can clearly see these people are shifting their house now. They are not left with any other option but to leave their house. This is the red mark which has been put in now over here, and this is to indicate that yes, this is one of the affected property. Let me go down and ask my video journalist to give you the sense clearly that what is being happening here. And if we talk about the cracks, then I can see all over. I can see the cracks. What is happening? We'll try and talk to someone to understand if we can get a sense.
इधर से पूरे दिखाओ क्या करना क्या बोलो सही जोशीमठ वैसे ही हो रहेगा क्या कहाँ जाऊँ खाली कमरे में रख रहे हम सामान ये पूरे जाने वाले हैं नीचे
अभी आप लोग को क्या बोला गया माता जी कि यहाँ से अब खाली करके
खाली कर दो ये 10 बजे को खाली कर दो हम यहाँ सील करेंगे सरकार ने 10 बजे को आज 10 बजे के तुम जितने सामान साफ सकते हो ले जाओ नहीं ले जाना तो यहीं रख लो यहाँ तुम्हारा सामान कुछ नहीं हुआ तुम्हारे लिए व्यवस्था हो जाएगा तभी तो है नहीं कमरे कहीं है नहीं हमारे व्यवस्था के लिए अब देखेंगे शाम तक क्या बोलेंगे
कौन कौन है आपके परिवार में जो अब
हाँ बहू है बुढ़े है बच्चे है लड़का है
We head into a break. Right now on the other side, a terror bid has been foiled before Republic Day. The Kolkata STF arresting 2 people with alleged ISIS link. Also a major face-off in the state of Karnataka over BJP's book on Siddaramaiah. The Congress has staged a protest. The full story when we come back.
$11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army. See, this is the recovery that has been made from the other operation that Indian Army carried out. This is the fatigue of the Indian Army, the combat dresses they were carrying, the gloves and other these batteries, the daggers, each and everything these terrorists were carrying. This is in the second operation that has been carried out by the Indian Army, and possibly it was an attempt to carry out a bat attack as they were carrying a camera with them also.
This is Ravi Gram of Joshimath from where I am reporting at this point in time, and as we have been reporting from the different location and seeing the condition that what exactly is happening in the Joshimath, there you can see the ball which has been dislocated completely. So you can understand by seeing these visuals that what would have been the condition and what is happening over here. This is something what is becoming a more worrisome situation for the people of Joshimath.
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army when 2 suspects were seen moving towards the LOC on the Indian side. When they didn't stop, they were neutralized by the Indian Army, and these 2 are the weapons that have been recovered along with other arms and ammunition. Several grenades too have been recovered. These are 2 automatic rifles that have been recovered, and these are the twin IEDs that these 2 terrorists were carrying.
देखिए तस्वीरें पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर की हैं और अखिलेश यादव इस वक्त अंदर में मौजूद हैं। सुबह ही मनीष जगन अग्रवाल की गिरफ्तारी हुई थी, जो कि समाजवादी पार्टी का जो मीडिया सेल है उसको वो हैंडल करते थे, उसको चलाते थे, और 3 अलग-अलग एफआईआर इस पूरे केस में अलग-अलग समय पर दर्ज हुई थी कि जो नेता अंदर नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, जिनको अंदर नहीं जाने दिया जा रहा, वो यहाँ पर धरने पर बैठ गए हैं।
Huge cache of arms and ammunition has been recovered by the security forces. This was an operation that was launched by the Indian Army. See, this is the recovery that has been made from the other operation that Indian Army carried out. This is the fatigue of the Indian Army, the combat dresses they were carrying, the gloves and other these batteries, the daggers, each and everything these terrorists were carrying. This is in the second operation that has been carried out by the Indian Army, and possibly it was an attempt to carry out a bat attack as they were carrying a camera with them also.
This is Ravi Gram of Joshimath from where I am reporting at this point in time, and as we have been reporting from the different location and seeing the condition that what exactly is happening.
I am Suesha Sawant reporting from New Delhi. This is Republic.
Welcome back. You're with us on Republic, and we are putting our spotlight on a lot of action that has been reported from down south. In fact, Tamil Nadu to be precise, where you have seen a major face-off between the ruling DMK government and the governor's office. Ever since the governor, remember, indicated that possibly the name of Tamil Nadu could be changed, and he was speaking earlier in the assembly today, we've seen a lot of uproar. In fact, the ruling DMK and the MDMK even staged a walkout. This is everything on that top focus story.
The tussle between the Tamil Nadu government and Governor R.N. Ravi escalated even further today. Tamil Nadu governor's name change proposal is at the roots of this face-off. Tamil Nadu governor has said that Tamilagam is more appropriate name for the state. The alliance parties with DMK, including Congress, CPI, CPM, etc., staged a walkout during the address of Governor R.N. Ravi in the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly. The allies not only disrupted the state governor's speech, but also protested outside the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly and shouted slogans against him.
Major drama and major commotion took place in the Tamil Nadu State Legislative Assembly today as the alliance parties of the DMK government staged a walkout, and they condemned the speech of the Governor R.N. Ravi while he was starting to speak in the assembly session today, and the assembly session was also about to start with his speech only. And the alliance parties, which included VCK, Congress, CPI, CPM, TVM, MMK, all these parties walked out, and they had also spoken about how the governor is doing a parallel government.
The assembly had convened in the backdrop of the pending bills and tensions between the governor and the ruling party over ideological and policy matters, including the ban on online gambling. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
BJP protest that was marching towards the Chief Minister's residence. You can see how the barricades have been broken over here. The BJP workers have broken the barricades, and now they are marching towards the Chief Minister's residence. And this protest is getting aggressive. And you can see my VJ Surinder Rawat bringing in this protest is coming after there was a lot of ruckus in the house when councillors of both the parties clashed in the house because of the oath-taking order, where the BJP workers claimed that the nominated workers should have gotten the permission to take the oath, whereas the Aam Aadmi Party workers wanted to take oath first, and then the entire controversy unraveled into a massive uproar in the house. You can see that these are the voices of the Bharatiya Janata Party workers, and they are alleging that all that happened inside that particular house was condemnable, that they did not that the Aam Aadmi Party workers did not comply by the rules and resorted to unruly behavior that ended into massive ruckus inside the party. And you can also see that these big placards all on a main road marching towards the Chief Minister's residence. That really deciphers the kind of ire these BJP workers are holding, because the showdown was quite indeed a shameful, because in a house where work and progress is supposed to happen, the events that unraveled on that hapless day are to be accounted for.
Let's get you a quick check of more stories. The BJP versus the Congress face-off has escalated in the state of Karnataka as the BJP was scheduled to release a book titled Siddaramaiah's True Dreams earlier today. The court later has announced a stay on the book of release. The BJP says they will highlight the Congress's soft stance towards the PFI in this book, and it was also supposed to highlight Siddaramaiah's stance on Tipu Sultan. Heavy police deployment outside the town hall as the Congress workers protested against the release of the book. These are images you see of earlier today from Karnataka. Many Congress workers were detained as they demanded that the BJP should not be allowed to release the book. A theft was reported from the house of Anjali, the woman who died a horrific death in the Delhi hit-and-run case. Her family members say that thieves broke open the lock of the house. They stole several items. They also allege that Anjali's friend Nidhi is behind this theft. All the accused in the Delhi hit-and-run case now have been sent to jail. The court has ordered 14 days of judicial custody.